What's up, YouTube? No, I'm just kidding. Can you imagine if Chris Sane got into this, though? Can you imagine if he got into it? Mad respect, mad respect. We're going to give you guys an update here on AMC, the AMC situation. Quite a bit to cover here today. There was a lot of stuff that happened. We're going to cover the Blackrock situation. We're going to cover some lawsuits that are currently in the works. I've got a couple different things that I pulled off of Reddit that I want to talk about. A Volkswagen comparison, Reddit, Wall Street Bets update, some math real quick. Short squeeze stockbrokers, a fake news article that came out. I do also have updated information regarding the overall short interest, lending percentage, etc. So let's just get right into the video. We're going to make this nice and short as we possibly can. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Trades Trades. We're doing a technical analysis on different stocks in the stock market, as well as potential buy, hold, or sell opinions on these given stocks. I'd like to preface by saying that I'm not a financial advisor nor expert, so take what I say with a grain of salt. We're just going to get right into the video. Now today, we had a pretty rough day. It's been tough. I've talked about this in my previous video, guys, but we saw a lot of short laddering and naked shorting happening here on the stock. To give you a brief rundown, short laddering, basically what this is when a stock is attacked by hedge funds or institutional buyers. And what they do is they sell and buy back and forth to each other in a planned and strategic way to cheat the algorithm and the system in which is managing the funds here for AMC. And this would include the market makers, right? So you're seeing this back and forth algorithmic selling of sizes between 200, 500, maybe 1,000 shares. And we're not seeing that right now, right? We supposedly should hit the SSR on AMC, but I did not see this happen. They're not currently on the SSR list. I know like GME is, but we will talk about that as well. So we saw more short laddering. We saw more naked shorting. The overall short position in AMC did actually go up, and we will talk about that here today. So let's get into this. We've got quite a bit of ground to cover. So I've got a couple different pictures pulled up, and I want to show you this right off the bat. So we did have a news article come out that is trying to scare some people out of their money. This was posted on February 2nd, 2021 at 4:02 p.m. So this says, short squeeze stockbrokers and hedge funds face proposed antitrust class action. So this isn't the article I thought it was. We're going to read this first anyways. So the Josephs, a very law firm, filed an antitrust class action lawsuit today on behalf of a class of retail investors in federal court against 35 defendants, including Robinhood, E-Trade, TD Ameritrade, Melvin Capital, Citadel, Sequoia Capital, and others. Sequoia Capital does have rumors of being in talks with with Robinhood. So I will show you this as well. I have showed this in the past, but this is some sketchy stuff, guys. If this is true, right? There could be some pretty crazy things happening here. So look at this. Robinhood and Vladimir. Yes, founder Vladimir and the C-suite received calls from Sequoia Capital, which I did just mention. That would make sense why they're in this class action lawsuit. And the White House that pressured into closing trading on GME, etc. I guarantee the same took place at E-Trade. Funnily enough, they're also in this article, and the others who closed trading. So this is pretty crazy stuff, guys, and this is just an example of the ramifications that are coming out of this AMC situation. So I do anticipate that moving forward the next couple of weeks, what can we expect? Well, I anticipate that these antitrust class action lawsuits are going to play a big factor in the way that you see operation of brokerage accounts and operation of companies such as Melvin Capital, Citadel, Sequoia Capital, and others, right? So this is a pretty big deal. I think that there's a lot that'll come from this, and I wanted to bring that up to your attention right off the bat here. So another thing I want to show you guys is right here. So I'm going to pull up another picture real quick, and it is this right here. So Blackrock ownership in AMC and AMC Entertainment Holdings. I have been asked this a million times, and I want to cover this in great detail. I have an article actually pulled up straight from the filing, and it is this. BlackRock has filed an SC 13G form with the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, disclosing ownership of 6.2 million shares of AMC Entertainment Holdings. This represents 5.7% ownership of the company. In the previous filing dated 2020-12-08, BlackRock had reported owning 3.9 million shares, indicating an increase of 59.19%. So that does not mean that they purchased 6.2 million shares, guys. This means that currently their total ownership in the stock, in the company, is 6.2 million, which does make up just a little over 5%. And I will show you that right now. So I actually have that form pulled up right here. And I want to show you this real quick. So this is dated as of February 2nd. So this is relevant. This is factual. You can take that to the grave, dated February 2nd, 2021 by BlackRock. So that is signed and dated. Now, what happened here? So we can see the issuer was a Class A common stock by AMC Entertainment, and it was issued to Blackrock, which we can see down here. So we've got AMC Entertainment, followed by somewhere down here is BlackRock, but this is obviously the BlackRock. We do see the signature at the bottom here. And then the sole deposited power was 6.21 million total, and that is their current stake in the company. And some people are really speculating what's going to happen here, right? What does this mean? What does it mean that BlackRock took a position in AMC? This is positive, guys. I'll tell you that right now. I'm pumped. I'm absolutely pumped that this happened, because this indicates to me, why would BlackRock get into AMC right now, February 2nd, after it just got beat to a bloody pulp for any reason other than to think the stock price is going to go up? So for them to hold a 6.2 million share stake in the company is absolutely monumental. I mean, I don't know what these shares ended up getting filled at. I did read through this and I did not see an overall share price. If you do know that, please drop it in the comment section so we can keep everybody up to date. But I think this is going to be a positive thing for the stock price. And I don't see any possible way this could be bad, except for if they created new shares to make this happen, right? In that case, you might see some share dilution. But overall, they do have more than a 5% ownership in the company. 5.7% is their percent of class. And over 5%, there are certain things that we see here. So ownership of more than 5% on behalf of another person. You can pause the video if you'd like and take a read through this. But essentially, I'll just read this right here. Various persons have the right to receive or the power to direct the receipt of dividends from or the proceeds from the sale of the common stock of AMC Entertainment Holdings Incorporated. No one person's interest in the common stock of AMC Entertainment Holding is more than 5% of the total outstanding common share. And essentially, this is just saying we are not going to try to influence the stock price in any sort of negative or positive way. We are simply taking a stake in the stock. This is good news. I like to see that a lot. And to me, this signifies a lot of faith in this movement and this squeeze. I genuinely think that BlackRock would not have established a position. Because think about this, guys. We don't know what these shares were filled at, right? If you do know that, please let me know. But if you do some quick math, I'm just going to pull up a calculator here. 6.2 million times 9, we're just gonna say low ball here, maybe $10. We'll say it was filled at $10. So if we pull up a calculator, they're gonna have a pretty hefty stake in this. So 6,900,000 times $10. That means that they have a stake of 690. This would be $69 million. So $69 million stake in the company, which is absolutely incredible. I do think that is a pretty solid sign of what could be to come here in the future. So I really want to double down on that. The BlackRock investment is not bad. At the very worst, it may slightly in the short term dilute overall shares, right? If they created new shares to make this happen. But in the long term, moving towards this squeeze, moving towards this movement, I do anticipate that this should be a good thing, especially because we should have an overall SSR that goes into play tomorrow. Now, what is the SSR if you're not familiar? The short sale rule, or the SSR, is triggered when a stock goes down more than 10% from its prior close. SSR remains on a stock for the rest of the trading day when it's triggered and remains on for the following trading day as well. And this SEC made this rule to prevent short sellers causing a stock to tank. And we did see a still tank anyways, but we were down over 10% today, very obviously. We closed the previous day at about $13.30 and finished today off not looking very good. You know, $7.82 or so, currently $7.90 here in the after hours. And we've been in a harsh downward moving channel for quite some time. And I'm telling you, the end game here is the same. The price is psychological. What is going on right now with the stock price? Do not lose hope, guys. I want to tell you that first and foremost, right? If you fundamentally believe, I was on a live stream today with Brian Jung, and I had the pleasure of talking to a hedge fund analyst who said, I had such strong convictions with Bitcoin. And I repeatedly bought into Bitcoin, even through the highs and the lows, right? And if he had sold out when it went from $25,000 down to $13,000, well, he would have never been able to experience the run up to 30, 35, right? And we're seeing the same thing happen right now with AMC. It's very closely mirroring what happened to GME before it had a crazy run up, and Volkswagen, which brings me to the next thing I want to talk about right here. Volkswagen in 2008. We see this huge dip, and this actually came back down to previous lows before the stock began to be shorted, and that's a big deal, right? So we see this happen, came down to previous lows, probably scared a lot of people, probably scared the crap out of a lot of people, and you might have thought, well, it looks like this is over, but it ended up hitting 900 and some change pounds the very next couple following days. GME saw the exact same thing, very harsh pullback, and then a huge spike, ended up going all the way up to $517 if I remember correctly. AMC had a pretty harsh pullback today. Came down to $6 as a low, which is, I think, the lowest that we've seen this stock touch in quite some time, right? And granted, I know the situation is not quite the same. I know that this came because of the Volkswagen and Porsche situation, right? They took a huge bet basically against Volkswagen doing well. Different situation entirely, but One thing that I do find interesting is how the charts line up. That is my specialty. I focus on charts, I focus on technical analysis, and you cannot ignore that there are similarities between what is happening right now with AMC, GME, and Volkswagen. I don't think AMC is dead. I still think the potential is here to see this be a $70, $80, $100 stock. Of course, I'm not going to label a price target on this. I'm not a financial expert or advisor. Right? This is my personal opinion, but I do think it is extremely possible because we saw a huge push from $3 up to $25. That is a 800% margin return there. That's a huge, massive squeeze. And to assume that we can see the same thing again is not out of the realm of possibilities here. So if we hit even just $10, right? We hit $10 and then start squeezing, that is $80. That is not out of the question whatsoever. Which brings me to the next thing that I want to show you guys, which is the overall short interest that is updated as of today. So I'm pulling this off of Intel. The latest market date was today, February 2nd, 2021. We have a short volume of 120 million shares, which is higher than we saw on the previous day. Total market volume of 418 million and a short volume ratio of 29%. So as we expected, the total short volume was extremely high today. They were fighting hard. They really did what they could to drive this price down so they can really cover their butts, guys. It's crazy. The short laddering and the naked shorting is not a myth. It's real things. This is very possible. And we see that this is, we can compare this to the previous data, right? We can see that they stepped in today. A lot of them covered, right? We see 76 million as of February 1st, and they basically doubled down again today. And we can see that plain as day. There's more short volume than there was yesterday. And that brings me over to Ortex, which is the next thing I want to show you. I pay a monthly subscription so that I can get this data for you guys and give you the most relevant, up-to-date information. And there's a couple of things that I want to show you that I find very significant and important. So the first thing right here, utilization. Now, what is utilization? Well, I'm going to pull you up a description just in case you are not aware. Utilization is the ratio between the number of shares on loan across all outstanding loans in the wholesale market and the number of shares available for lending at lending programs. 0% means that no shares have been borrowed or lent at these lending programs. 100% means that all shares available to borrow or lend at a lending program have, in fact, been lent. So as we can see right here, 85% is the current lending of all available shares to short, which means there's 15% remaining. That is a massive statistic to know, guys. That means that we see right in front of our faces that the short volume is still there. The short interest is still there. It's actually gone up. We saw 126, I believe, 120 million in short volume today, which is 28% of the total volume ratio. Extremely, extremely high. That is good information to know. The overall days to cover, this was not updated yet today, but as of yesterday, we do see the number, maybe this actually was updated because this is different, is 0.67. And typically what days to cover means, and I'll show you this right now, just so you can know, in case you do not know, how many days volume the current shares on loan equate to. Note, average daily volume is base average 3-month daily volume for the given security across exchanges. And days to cover, you can find this out by taking the short interest and dividing it by the average volume. So basically this means currently, the shorts kind of have an edge, which we can see on the price action, right? We can see they're winning the battle. They're driving the price down. They're short laddering. They're naked shorting. They're creating shares, counterfeit shares, which is illegal, by the way. Both naked shorting and ladder shorting is not a legal practice. And if you're not familiar, as I mentioned earlier, ladder shorting is selling back and forth to each other to trick the algorithm of the market making system. And then naked shorting is creating shares that don't exist, right? So if you have 100 shares of AMC and 90 of them are being held, 10 are outstanding, right? 10 are available to trade, to buy, to sell. Well, what they can do is create 100 counterfeit shares. So now all of a sudden you've diluted the system, right? You've basically created a market which was meant for 100 shares that now has 200. The basic laws of supply and demand, guys. What this means is with an increase in supply comes a decrease in demand. So this automatically creates false selling pressure that does not seem to actually exist. I want to show you guys something that I find very fascinating. So I want to pull this up on my Twitter really quick. And this is something that I find very interesting. So I'm going to come over here to Twitter, and it is the overall buy and sell ratio from yesterday's price action. I do not have this updated from today, but yesterday's price action is very interesting. Now check this out. We have this very interesting statistic to point out. 95% of yesterday's price action was buyers and 5% was sellers. Now, what could have caused this? What could have caused this? I'll tell you right now, short laddering, tricking the algorithm of the market making system into thinking that there are more sellers and selling pressure than actually exist. And we are watching this in real time, and it is verified by the fact that the short volume is in fact increased on the day. We are up to 120 million in total short volume, followed by the days to cover going down. It shows that the shorts have an edge right now. The cost to borrow being 5.25%, not that that matters, and the utilization being 85%. Extremely, extremely high. That is a big, big deal. Now, another thing I want to show you guys, I mentioned this earlier and I didn't show you yet, is this GameStop sinks as short squeeze bet fades. Live updates. Right now, I want to tell you, this is such BS. This is such crap. Another attempt at fear-mongering, and I don't want you to buy this for 1 second, guys, because we all know this is not the case. Wall Street Bets is not going anywhere, and we can see clear as day what's going on right now. Just looking at Wall Street Bets, there's millions of people in this forum, this Reddit thread, talking constantly about AMC and GME. We are hyper-focused. Everybody knows what they want to do here. And in fact, more really cool stuff happened here with Mark Cuban, in which I do plan on talking about in this next live stream. And I will bring this up, but WSB is not going anywhere. They're still talking about this stuff. They're talking about AMC. They're talking about the next game plan, right? How they're gonna win this GameStop and this AMC fight. And don't buy this. So what it's saying basically is, let's just read a quick piece. GameStop plunged on Tuesday, a second day of sharp declines in the stock, as a social media-fueled buying frenzy quickly lost its momentum, erasing billions of potential profits for investors who had been caught up in the enthusiasm. GameStop has lost 72% over 2 days. And they're basically just trying to scare people into selling their shares because they know, plain as day, clear as crystal, that AMC and GME are increasing in short positions. Guys, I'll tell you right now, the instant that this play is done, they're not going to tell you. It'll just be done. They're going to stop covering this story. That's when you're going to know when to sell. And the more that these hit pieces come out, the more you should be rubbing your hands and being going, ooh, ooh, ooh. You should be going nuts, because that indicates that there is still an extreme amount of selling pressure. There's still an extreme amount of shorting. And that is just setting up for the absolute filthy squeeze that is 100% possible with the stock. Guys, I understand. It's so emotionally frustrating for me too. It's a roller coaster. It is so hard to watch your money because money is a touchy subject. You want to kick someone where it hurts, take their money. And that's what's happening with these hedge funds. They're kicking people where it hurts. And it's frustrating, but I'm promising you right now, I can't promise anything, but based on the statistics and the information that is readily available to anybody, it is ready. The setup is there. Now, this is something that kind of derives from where we can see this going in the future, how the impact of this whole shorting situation with the hedge funds could impact the future. Now, check this out. Senator Elizabeth Warren asked Robinhood to explain why it restricted GameStop trades after hedge funds' losses. So basically what's happening here is Senator Warren goes over in a very long and lengthy article saying, hey, Robinhood, why did you restrict buying and not selling, basically locking your customers into losses inevitably? Because think about this. If we know the equilibrium is an equal amount of buying and selling, right? We expect both of these things to happen at the same time in order for a stock price to remain the same. That is what it takes to stay breaking even, right? An even amount of buying and an even amount of selling. Well, if you restrict buying, you are guaranteeing that the market-making system, the algorithm, is going to decline in price, because at the same time that this is happening, the institutional buyers, the short sellers, right, the hedge funds, they can continue to do as they please. And, there's speculation, right? There's speculation that this is because they didn't have enough collateral to cover buying, whatever. But if you're going to do that, guys, you need to restrict both buying and selling, because this is not realistic. You can't do that. You cannot do that. It's scaring people out of their money, because all they can do is watch the stock price go down, and the only option they have is to sell their shares. So what is happening right now is Senator Elizabeth Warren is trying to start a lawsuit against Robinhood, which we've seen in other articles and pictures that I've showed you today. Now, these two things are a little bit different. These are speculative. These do come from both StockTwits as well as Reddit. But I do want to share these with you. You can make your own opinion, but I will share the information. Check this out. Today we have to close over 457, so you'll lose 109,000 shares. We did end up doing that. We closed somewhere in the $7 range, I believe. We'll check this out. $7.82. So with that in mind, we have to close Wednesday over 607, so you'll lose another 242,000 shares. This is all manipulation. Naked shorting is illegal. Stopping buys and only allowing selling is illegal, which we didn't talk about, by the way. We are winning. They're screwed. Keep loading and holding. Pass the word. The rocket is coming, people. Be patient. The last thing I want to talk about. Read this. Did some calculations so you understand what is going on. They have taken a $764 million loss already Monday and Tuesday. This is for AMC. If the share price stays in the $8 range tomorrow, they'll take an additional $881 million loss for a total of $1.65 billion. Here's the thing. If the share price goes up, for example, $30 tomorrow, their loss will be $7.3 billion plus the $764 million for a total of $8 billion. They are using algorithms to attack the share price. Yesterday was a high-speed short ladder attack, which I did mention to you. This is selling and buying back and forth between hedge funds to trick the algorithm into decreasing the price. So keeping that in mind. Reason you don't sell your shares is because if you do, they will be able to punch down to $5 faster. We have maintained a wall. Brokerages have placed limitations on access and buying. They will need to buy back 397 million shares. Demand will cause AMC share price to increase. They want to get to that $5 range tomorrow, and we need to maintain the current level or higher. They have interest to pay now, and they have to buy back shares. So guys, I'm telling you right now, they're in the hurt box a lot worse than we are. AMC, this situation is scary. It is so scary. I understand. There's some people, there's a guy in my Discord that's got a couple $100,000 in the stock and is currently down like 180 grand. Think about that. And he hasn't sold a single share because if your conviction is strong, your conviction, the reason that you initiated the trade, the price is psychological, right? We have the numbers right in front of our face. The short interest is there. We've got the current utilization of 85%. We've got the days to cover being 0.67, meaning that the shorts are still attacking. They're trying their best to drive the price down so they can get the edge, right? Currently they have it. But the more they play with fire, guys, eventually they're going to get caught. They're going to get caught with their pants down. I'm telling you. This is only a matter of time. So the last thing I want to touch on here for this video is to show you guys the overall price action that we are seeing right now on the charts. So as we see right now, we are currently in a really, really harsh downward channel. We've got a descending level of resistance and a descending level of support, which this stock is very trapped in. And we did break out of this as of late, right? But I'd like to see a wide range candle bar signifying that we did get out of that. So we may very easily drop back into that. I'm not going to BS you guys, but with the SSR rule that should be set tomorrow, right? I have had a couple people that have said, hey man, I haven't seen AMC on that SSR list yet, but they cannot do that because the stock was dropped below 10%. So going into tomorrow, we should not be able to see this happen. Now, I want to show you a different instance, right? Check this out. The last time that this happened, where it dropped over 10%, SSR was put in place. The stock did not tank. This gives you everything you need to know about the manipulation happening. So what can we do tomorrow? What's the game plan for tomorrow, guys? What's a good entry point? What should you be doing? Well, tomorrow, if this SSR is in place, knowing all the information we have right now, buy the crap out of this stock. And I realize people probably run out of money. We've been doing this for a long time. This has been a long process. But if this SSR is in place tomorrow, they should not be able to short the stock. And if they can, that is just adding to the overall market manipulation, the illegal activity that you're seeing happen right now with AMC. Good entry point. Good entry point is right now, man. Right now, man and woman. We are really, really close to coming back down to these previous lows, which, as I mentioned earlier, looks a heck of a lot like the Volkswagen squeeze. Look at this comparison. Right before Volkswagen went to freaking Mars to Pluto, it dipped back down to previous levels. GameStop did the exact same thing. Let's pull up GameStop right now just to show you exactly what I'm talking about. GME. Let's look at GME real quick. Right before GME saw this huge push to $514.50. They tanked hard. They came all the way back down to here at $223 from a high the same day of $384. Big swing. And honestly, if GME is in this situation the same as AMC is, this could have been nothing. This could have been a speck of dust compared to what is coming for GameStop. I read a statistic that said if you were to compare and meet the same match of the GameStop squeeze to Volkswagen, if it had the same amount of squeeze, you would see GameStop hit $30,000. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, right? But I'm saying that there is a huge possibility that GameStop and AMC both have a lot of room to run, guys. I really, truly believe that. And I would not be telling you guys, I'm so passionate about this, and I truly mean what I'm saying. We have the information in front of our eyes. It is there for the taking. You guys can see this in front of your noses. Don't be scared by what is happening right now with AMC and GameStop. They're trying to scare you. They're doing everything in their power using this fake news, this misinformation, right, to scatter people. The silver debacle, right? They're doing the short ladder. They're naked shorting. They're doubling down their positions. They're saying, all right, guys, we think we're going to beat you stupid Wall Street guys, you stupid Wall Street bets guys, and you retail investors, and we're going to double down our positions, and we're going to milk you dry, and we're going to bankrupt this company. And we don't care if we bankrupt the company. We don't care if we screw people out of the retail jobs. Think about AMC and GameStop. How many people are going to lose their jobs? We don't care if you're going to lose your life savings that you put into this company, right? Because think about the people that were in AMC back before all this stuff happened. What's going to happen to them, right? So people are going to really get hurt. The market is going to take a hit. Think about all the money, the redistribution of wealth that is going to happen from this. So what's the end goal here? What's the good news, guys? SSR in place tomorrow should be a good day for the stock. It should be a good day. What can we expect, right? If this is true, I expect a lot of buying pressure, and it is the opportunity to buy. Another thing that I want to point out, we need to use the same strategies that is currently being utilized by hedge funds like this, and place out our buys in a different window, right? So instead of, if you're going to buy $5,000 of AMC, right, spread out the wealth, spread out $100 here, $100 there, $100 there, $100 there, contribute to the cause, nickel and dime over time. We're going to see this thing really start to run, because that is exactly what these guys, these hedge funds, these institutional buyers are doing to trick the system. And at this point, guys, they're playing real dirty. So we got to do everything in our power to fight back if you are a part of this movement. Of course, everybody's in a different financial situation. I've had some people say, I'm out, I'm taking profits. I've had some people say, this is a dead cat, you need to stop talking about this, but I'm not. I'm not going to stop talking about this because it makes me angry. I have a very, very strong opinion about this. As people, it is so beautiful to me to see everybody come together, regardless of your origin, your race, your gender, your age, your sex, your political background, your religion, all that stuff. People are coming together and forming a community to take a stance on something they believe in. This goes deeper than making money, guys. This goes into ethics, morality, and a free market. People from all over the world are stepping into this. And for me to be a part of this, for you guys to be a part of this, the community to be a part of this, means absolutely everything in the world to me. And that is the most relevant information that I have for you guys today on AMC. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please drop a like. Welcome to everybody that is new here to the channel. The growth has been absolutely insane. I'm so grateful. Consider subscribing if you are new and you'd like to see more content like this. Lastly, I have an affiliate link in the description box down below for Webull. Get 4 free stocks with a $100 deposit. It's the brokerage platform that you're watching me use right now. Absolutely beautiful. If you're not interested, that's totally fine. I promise you. I'm just glad you're taking the time to watch my videos and support me in that way. So that's what I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching, my friends, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.